There we go. Hey guys, welcome. It's Tuesday evening. It's the last day of March. Can you believe it? Last day of March. And here in New York, I think we hit like 70 something degrees where I am today. It was a nice day. So I'm hoping that means that basically it's spring is here and it's going to get a little warmer. I don't know, we'll see what happens as we get into April, of course. But thank you guys for being here. Definitely appreciate you all stopping by. Got some interesting stuff to talk about tonight as usual, so looking forward to diving right in and getting to it. Before we start though, I gotta do this because I saw Jason Little Alien put this in the chat before the show started, and I actually thought this was pretty funny. So let me bring this up. Guys, did you know that today is National Tater Day? That is right. March 31st, 2026, National Tater Day. And I got to tell you why I brought this up and why I think this is actually kind of funny. Because believe it or not, I actually had some tater tots today. So my wife made burgers for dinner. She had some ground turkey meat and she made some hamburger patties. So we had burgers, and I usually like to have a little something with it. And she's like, we got we got fries up, in the freezer upstairs. So I was like, yeah, but we got tater tots in the freezer downstairs and they're already open yet. So let me make some tater tots to go with our burgers. So guys, I can honestly say that I celebrated National Tater Day today by having tater tots with my dinner. So thank you, Jason Lil Alien, for putting that in the chat, because I actually had no idea that that's what today was. But let me say hi to everybody else that is here. Actually, let me say hi to somebody who is not here, and that is Fat Hog, who is going to have to catch the replay on this, but took the time to stop by and say hello. So thank you, Fat Hog. Definitely appreciate it. Hope you are enjoying the replay as you are watching this. We got JJ in the chat, who in the chat snagged an Evercade Nexus 64 pre-order today before they sold out. Yeah, that's pretty wild, huh? I think they had something like 2,000 of them available, and they sold out like almost immediately. And I'm going to get into a little bit of that later on tonight as well. We got John Fritz in the house. Of course, as I mentioned before, we've got Jason Little Alien, my wonderful moderator, always here, always doing such a great job. Appreciate you, brother. We got Dr. Torque, a.k.a. Tim York, in the house, or maybe that's the other way around. Tim York, a.k.a. Dr. Torque, saying hello. Always good to see you. We got Gamer Fridge here, celebrating Hump Day Eve. I know, you guys are never going to let that Hump Day thing go, right? I never should have done that. Excuse me. Throat's a little sore tonight for some reason. My wife has been getting over a cold, and I am trying desperately not to catch it, but I keep finding myself kind of doing some of this. I think I'm just being a hypochondriac, but I'm trying really hard not to get sick. We got oh, look at this. Not only is Jim the Pacers fan here, but he became a member of the Bilberians. Thank you so much for that. I definitely appreciate it. Here you go. So there you go, Jim. Welcome to the Bilberians. And no, you didn't miss the Nexus news. We're just getting started. We're going to get to everything in just a little bit. We got Stanzy B here saying hello. We got MSU Rich in the house as well. Stock Jock Sonic tater tots are the best. You know what? My God, I have not had Sonic in I can't even tell you how long. There was one not terribly far from me. Excuse me. A couple of towns up in Wappingers Falls, Poughkeepsie area here in New York, but I think it's closed down. But man, I think the last time I had Sonic before that, I was probably in Florida. We got Meatball Saucy here, getting tatered. Oh, that's funny. You know what? I still have them. I still have those sitting in a box. I still have my Lego Game Boy sitting in the box. I have to do those. I'm hoping, over the summertime here, I'm going to have maybe a little free time to sit and do some of this stuff. I've just been so busy with stuff lately that I have not had the time to sit and play with stuff like that. Plus, it's one of those things I keep thinking, like, do I just put it together and enjoy it, or do I try to quote unquote make content out of it and shoot a little video of it? Stupid things like that. But I'm sure I will put it together at some point for sure. Let's see. We got the ringer himself, Steve Sale, in the house. Always good to see you, Ringer Steve. Sathias is here as well. James hates everything is here. Another episode that will need to be fact checked afterwards. Hopefully not. Hopefully everything I say tonight will be on the up and up, but you never know, because let's face it, I'm human, get things wrong from time to time. As a matter of fact, I am going to correct something that I said recently tonight, because when I get things wrong, I own up to it. We got B Kirby in the house as well. My fellow Bill, always good to see you, B Kirby. We got Brune 1791 here on a Tuesday. Let's see. Who else? Am I missing anybody? Or did I get everybody who is here? We got Cornercade stopping by. Cornercade did leave a chat earlier today, and he's back. So good to see you as well. All right, let's get into some stuff. As usual, I usually like to start with something a little different, little, things that I find interesting, and hopefully you guys will too. And say hi to Ski Bomber here as well. Had to choose beyond Savannah Bananas in Cincinnati or Nexus today. Wife really wanted baseball. Nexus later. Got to keep that wife happy. Trust me. It's half the reason I don't order way more stuff is because I have to keep the wife happy. If it wasn't, you know what? Never mind. I'll leave it at that. Let's jump in and let's talk about this. I actually talked about this not too long ago. It was either on my last live stream or maybe the one before it, because I thought this was something really interesting. This is a Kickstarter for a 3D printable desktop pinball machine. And when I talked about it last time, it hadn't gone live yet. Now the Kickstarter is up. It just started, I think, either yesterday or today. Has well over its goal of 3,000, already up over 30,000 on this. And I'm actually considering backing this. And one of the reasons I'm considering backing this is because it's not really that much. I mean, for early bird, for $49, you get all the STL files you need to print this. And for some higher pledges, you can get the CAD files too. So if you're familiar with CAD, you can you could probably modify them and make your own pieces for this. For $170, you can get a license that would let you print and then sell it. I assume, and some other stuff. But one of the things that I think is really cool about this is, like I said, it's 100% 3D printed. So there's no electronics in it. The only mechanics really, and it's totally 3D printed, is like a little roller score mechanism that's attached to one of the ramps. So there's not even really any kind of like scoring involved with this. It's really, you're really just kind of knocking the pinball around the table, hitting the ramps, hitting different things. you're not gonna have pop-up bumpers. You're not gonna have slingshots or any of that kind of stuff. But it's completely modular, so you can take out pieces, put in pieces, make the table look any way that you want. And again, really the only thing you would need to do is get the steel balls for it, which I think they recommend like 19 millimeter steel balls, which 19 millimeter metal ball recommended, which you can easily get off of Amazon. Just here a little quick idea of like what you can do with this. You just kind of put the balls in, launch them, and bop them around the thing. Like I said, make it any way you want. There's room in there for more than just this. They're just showing kind of simple. But actually, one of the things that I thought was really kind of interesting about this, one of the things that you can do with this is you can actually print two of these and kind of put them head to head against each other and play against another player. And the whole object would just be you put like 3 or 4 balls in and just whack them back and forth side to side, and with the object of trying to get it in the little the sinkhole between the flippers on the other player's side, because once you do that, it kind of drops down to an area here where it's out of play. But I think that's really kind of cool to be able to print this and make your own little like 2-player game and all. So if you like fun little 3D projects, then something like that could be really cool. For $100 plus parts, you can get 3D bowling files too. That's kind of neat. I think all that kind of stuff is really cool. So, like I said, for the $50, I might actually go ahead and back that one. Oh, look at this stock chalk. You didn't have to do this. $5 super chat. We got to keep the super chats going from last night's Mike B show since the corner kid. No. Oh no. Oh, you're gonna get me in trouble. Don't do that. Don't do it. If it works, the files will be on the internet for free in a year. Oh yeah, well, that's probably true. Or somebody will be selling them for $20 as part of some 1,000 STL file pack. Yeah, I've seen those too. Which I think kind of sucks, against the creators who actually put time into making this stuff. Oh, look at this. And we got B Kirby gifting 10 membership levels to the Bilbarians. Thank you for that. Absolutely appreciate that. A bunch of people, I see a bunch of people in here got their memberships. So that is very cool. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Let's give you a little something to go along with that as well.
Welcome to the Bilbarians.
Thank you so much for that. Definitely appreciated. All right, so that's one thing. And then there was another thing that just recently launched on Kickstarter, and I want to bring this one up too. And this, I got to give a shout out to P-Dubs on this one, P-Dubs Arcade Loft, because I think I saw this through a post he put on Facebook and got me curious to check this one out as well. Come on. Oh, hang on. There we go. So this is the Swap Arcade. And it definitely gives me kind of, like Polycade vibes with kind of the look and the shape of it and how it's meant to hang on the wall, but it's not like the Polycade at all. This is a home arcade that you can get through Kickstarter here. You get this whole like kind of I guess housing for it put together. You get a 24-inch screen. It comes with 2 8-bit do controllers. So these are not like custom controllers. These are like off-the-shelf 8-bit do controllers. But the interesting thing about this is that the top part of it kind of opens up.
The Swap Arcade is a retro arcade.
And you can actually put like a Switch in there or a phone or a little mini PC or whatever and hook it up to this to play games. Let me see if I can kind of, yeah, see, so you open up the top there and you dock the Switch, and then it's all hooked up where it will just play, you can just play your Switch on a little 24-inch screen with these 8-bit do controllers. Now, it is not the prettiest thing in the world. I will admit that. This is definitely not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's kind of a cool concept. And honestly, for for what it's going for the Kickstarter early bird, it's not terribly expensive either. They're asking for just under $600, so it's $597 for the early bird pledge on this. And it looks like I believe okay, there's shipping. I was trying to figure out shipping before. Here it is. It's $60 to $100 estimated shipping. I believe the retail price looks like it's going to be about $1,000 for this after the Kickstarter and everything. Now, the one thing that I don't get with this is it talks a lot about putting the Switch or a phone or a PC or whatever in this, but it does say, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. See, it does say here, thousands of preloaded retro favorites inspired by classic arcade and console era, which to me means these are not the typical console and arcade games that you're used to seeing on like a Batacera or a RetroPie or any of those kind of builds. If it says inspired by classic arcade and console eras, that means these are probably homebrew, generic indie games or whatever, not, the real classic arcade games. But what I don't understand is how that works. Because it doesn't say anything about this coming with like a Pi or a PC or anything like that. It mentions a lot about, putting your own device in it, but it doesn't say what the device is that has those thousands of games on it. So that's the other thing that kind of I don't fully understand about this, if I'm being honest. That and the fact that, like I said, it's certainly not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's functional and it would get the job done. So I wanted to throw this out there too, just in case anybody was interested in checking this out. They got about 10 days to go. Haven't quite hit their goal yet. They're just under $2,000 shy of their goal on this. So we'll have to see what happens with it. But like I said, I thought it was worth bringing up just in case any of you guys might be interested. Let's see, what do we got here? We got people thanking B Kirby for the memberships. Now a member on every retro arcade channel, thanks to you, a broker doing them all. I could recommend one you could stay with, and see, that much is for sure. Yes, I said it. It's not the prettiest thing. That is for sure. Thank you, Jason, for putting the link in the chat. Of course, I will have all the links up after the show as well. The TV in it looks like it has horrible off-axis angles. What are they putting in it? A $30 Walmart. It's a 24-inch TV. And I did read some of the stuff earlier on, and I know the guy he said he was trying to find like deals with probably some Chinese manufacturers or whatever to get a good deal on the TVs. So yeah, it may not be the best TV. I will grant you that. Apparently, he's already worked out a deal with 8-bit do, so he's got a set cost for those controllers, which is good. But yeah, the TV, I don't know. Not a bad idea, but 1,000, it's a bit too high for my taste. Besides, it is fugly. Yeah, hang on. I'm sorry. Again, I apologize. That's trying not to get sick. It comes with an Amber Nick. Hey, don't knock my Amber Nicks. I like Amber Nick. Mike Hawkhurst is here. Always good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. But guys, there you go. Just a little something to start the show off with a couple of Kickstarters for you guys to check out, if you find either of those things interesting. So let's move into something, one of the bigger topics that I want to talk about tonight. And this is one that I've been talking about quite a bit over the last week or so with a lot of the news that we've seen from Wonderland, from the release of their Alice in Wonderland, which has gotten some pretty good reviews on it. Some issues here and there, but sounds like stuff that things are working out. And now we know that they're working on the TMNT. Excuse me. And they were at WonderCon this past weekend, showing off showing off basically a shell of what the pinball is going to look like. We got a taste of what the artwork is most likely going to be. It does sound like some of the artwork, even the artwork on the outside that they showed off, might change as it progresses. They didn't have a play field in it, so you couldn't play it. Because again, that's something that is still being worked on. But I do want to let me start off with this because I want to give a shout out to B Kong, because B Kong was there at the show and he got a chance to talk to Peter from Wonderland and interview him about the Ninja Turtles. And I gotta say, I am really liking what I'm seeing from this so far. I do think that this is pretty cool. And I like the direction that they're going with this. Still a few, concerns after, the stuff with Alice. Hopefully they've dialed in some of the issues they've had. Hopefully they do something a little bit more with the code on this one than they did with Alice. But so far, I have to say, I do think this looks pretty cool. So I'm excited to keep an eye on this for sure. Get out of there. But there was, hold on, let me, what did I do? There was something else I wanted to bring up too. I wanted to bring up a couple of pictures from the show. Nope. So these are from John Colvin, who was at the show as well. Took some pictures. You can see here, this is a sign that they had up with a QR code where you could get in on pre-sale. I'll talk about that in just a minute. But here's a look at the back glass for it. And I like what they've done here with this World of TMNT Battle in the Sewers. Because we saw in some of the prototype leaks, we saw some different stuff where it was just the TMT logo. Some of them said Battle in the Sewers. Some of them didn't. Looks like they've kind of gone back to this idea, this Battle in the Sewers, as kind of a subtitle for the game. Here's another look at the shell of a cabinet, head on, no playfield in it, of course. Look at the side art, which again might change. We'll have to wait and see. Peter did kind of allude to the fact that this might be, I don't want to say stock art, but like maybe some previously used art from the artist. The artist being, let me make sure I say this right, Mateus Santaluco, who has or maybe still, I forget, works for IDW, has worked on the Turtles in the past, and was commissioned by them to do the artwork. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Now, one of the good things about that is that one of the things that Peter was saying was that since they are still working on the artwork, and one of the reasons that they didn't show off the playfield was because that's still going through transitions as well, including the artwork on it. Because I was one of the people, and I know my buddy Gamer Fridge is here too, who I think he and I are on opposite ends of this because he likes the 80s turtle stuff more, and I like more of the comic stuff. I didn't like the mix of styles. I didn't like the comic look on the outside, but with the playfield kind of mentioning stuff that was more in line with the 80s cartoons, Cowabunga, Pizza Time, stuff like that. So hopefully a lot of that stuff is going to go away and they're just going to stick with the more comic style artwork. Oh, let me see here. Hey, Moat. Good to see you, man. Glad you are here. Video Game Vegas says Wonderland is killing it with how pretty these things are. They care about how these look. A major point to get people to get up and play it. I would agree with that. I think the Alice looked beautiful. So, and hopefully this one will continue to look good as well. Carl received his today. He can now quit staring at his deck of cards, which is good for D-Love. I'm glad Detroit Love finally got his. I'm excited to see his take and his review on it. Hey, we got Fox in the house. 19K Fox, good to be here. Thank you for that. Thank you for putting that out there. Definitely appreciate it, my man. But along with this, we did get a little bit more information coming out of the show, but a little bit of it was kind of confusing. And luckily, we've got a little bit of clarification on it as well. And I got to give a shout out to Michael B. the Game Genie, who reached out to Peter over at Wonderland to get some clarification on this. So let me bring this up while I'm talking as well, so you guys can see this. So like I said, there was that QR code there, and that QR code would lead you to this landing page here. And of course, I'll have a link to this in the chat as well. In the description. Jason will probably put it in the chat as well. Real pinball built for the home, Ninja Turtles, and you can put your name and your email on here to sign up for pre-sale savings. Okay, so here's the deal with this, from what I understand now. If you were a Kickstarter backer of Alice in Wonderland, and if you sign up on that website, put in your name, put in your email for the presale, once the presale goes live, which is supposed to be sometime in April, probably closer to the end of April, you are going to get sent a discount code that you can use during the pre-order, which will give it to you at the price of $7.99. So basically the same price as the Wonderland Kickstarter was. So you'll get this at $800. That's only going to be good for the first 48 hours. And there are no quantity limits. You can order as many as you want. If you want to order more than one, you can do that. After 48 hours, it will go to whatever the regular presale is. I think there's still going to be a discount during the presale. I don't know any other number. The only number I know is that $7.99. That is the only number that has been confirmed by Peter over at Wonderland, is that for the 48 hours, that's what you're going to get if you backed Alice, or if you put your email in for this presale. You'll have 48 hours to do that. After that, price goes up. I'm going to throw out a guess that the regular presale will probably be $9.99, and then the regular retail later on will probably be the $11.99 that we're seeing now for Alice. That's my guess. I don't know for sure, but that's my guess. We'll see. We'll know for sure once the presale hits. But I did want to give that clarification on how the presale is going to work and how that $7.99 price is going to work. Again, thank you so much to Michael B for finding that out. Also, there is going to be free shipping on this if you're in the US. So if you live in the US, you get free shipping, which is, on something this size, is a big deal. Yes, they do flat pack it, which cuts down on the shipping and all, but it's 2 boxes. So, getting free shipping on this is pretty cool. It is going to be available throughout North America, so Canadians should be able to get this as well. I don't know if they're going to get free shipping. It just said free shipping in the US, so keep that in mind. But I wanted to, get that information out to you guys on that. So now that is how that is going to work. I think anybody who signs up with that QR code will get the offer based on what. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what it is. If you like, so again, it's two things. Number one, if you were a backer of the Alice in Wonderland, you're automatically going to get that discount code sent to you. If you were not a backer and you want to get that discount code, scanning that QR code brings you to that website that I just showed, and it's the one that Jason put up in the chat here. Put your email in there, and you will also get the discount code, which will be good for the first 248 hours. So I can't make it any clearer than that. That's the best I could do. Okay. Jay, I love the cartoon. I think the Turtles cartoon is awesome. Grew up on it, really enjoyed it. But I started out as a comic fan before the cartoon was even a thing. So I've always been a fan of the comic. Fell out of it over the years. I'm not really a comic collector anymore. Haven't read them in a very long time, although I have the Last Ronin graphic novel on my shelf back there because you have to have the Last Ronin. It's just, you have to. So I'm happy that they're going in this direction because we've seen too much of it based on the cartoon. AtGames did their digital pinball table based on the cartoon. They even got the guy who voiced Leonardo to do the call outs to it. Their HDP machine themed after the cartoon. We needed something different. So I understand how you feel, brother. I get it. We needed something different though, and I am not going to apologize for that. It's only shipping in the US. Well, they said they said it's available in North America, so I'm assuming that means available in Canada, but not with the free shipping. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, but look, let's face it. These guys, I gotta give these guys props because they got a lot going on. I mean, think about it. They just finished releasing Alice in Wonderland. Peter even said it in the thing. They've been dealing with some support issues. Some of it having to do with shipping. Some of it having to do with actual real issues with the table. They're promoting this Ninja Turtles. They're trying to get it out. They're trying to get everything finalized. They're trying to figure out how they can make sure Todd doesn't get his box B again. They got a lot going on. So these guys are busy. Shout out to Nerd Lounge Master. I love you, brother. And hopefully, if you do order this, you will get both boxes at the same time. Did Wonderland say if the TMNT one would be pre-built this time where you only have to connect the box to the playfield, or will folks have to install in the playfield pieces? I got the impression from B's interview talking about Alice that they're going to do the same thing with TMNT because TMNT because they talked about how they kind of thought it was good that people had to put it together because when you put it together, you learn how the pieces work so that if you have problems, it's easier for you to troubleshoot and figure out where things are. So I have a sneaking suspicion it is going to be the same. Could be wrong. That might change. Everything is subject to change, until we get any kind of confirmation. But I get the feeling that it's going to be the same thing. Plus, again, free shipping. I would think with the free shipping, it probably means they're flat packing this thing. Trying to ship that thing fully built, kind of like an AtGames where you just put the two pieces together. Man, I think you'd be eating a big, they're eating a cost anyway, free shipping, I would think, but you'd be eating an even bigger cost. As an adult who loves TMNT and likes to follow them, the comics are great over the years. I definitely agree with that. and it is great to get something different and more adult focused. Thank you, G.I. Joel. Appreciate you agreeing with me. Yep. See, Jay, you're outnumbered, brother. Seems way better than the Turtles cartoons. More adult looking. Lover of the TMNT original comic, not a fan of the cartoon. However, maybe they should have done 2 or more art styles and did a multi. You and your multiverse cab. Stop with that. Anyway, I will laugh if he orders this and only gets box B this time. I will too, and then I'll feel bad about it. Let's see. I apologize if I get this wrong. Oracle Miata 845. Free shipping and self-assembly is why this thing is so cheap. And that's, again, I would agree with that. So I think that is going to be the way that they go. But guys, there you go. That's the info that we have so far on Wonderland. I am curious to see more as time goes by. Definitely going to follow this one. I want to see how the playfield evolves, how the artwork evolves on this one, and what's ultimately going to happen with the pre-sales to that. All right, so moving on from there, I want to spend just a minute or two talking about Iconic, because a couple of things happened with Iconic recently. And first thing I have to do is I have to correct something that I said recently in a video that I did last week. I did a video talking about Wonderland, talking about Iconic, talking about the 5 new games that Iconic has added. And I goofed. And John D was kind enough to correct me on it, which was great. I said there were 19 games on it. There's 20. I had forgotten that the Captain Commando game was added to the 14 games after the 14 games were originally announced, bringing it to 15 originally. Now we have 5 more. That brings it to 20. Math. I thought Captain Commando was one of the original 14, and then the 5 was. So I just brain fart. Totally missed it. John D was kind enough to correct me on that. If you go back to watch my video, I did update in the description, and I did pin his comment mentioning that. So it's 19 games on the Street Fighter, not 20. I'm sorry. It's 20 games on the Street Fighter, not 19. See, like I said, human, make mistakes, correct them when I can. But in case you missed it, you said they did announce 5 more games for it, and those 5 games are going to be Cyberbots, Bionic Commando, Magic Sword, Forgotten Worlds, and Gigawing. So this machine is actually going to be, I think this machine is going to be pretty cool with 20 games on it, all Capcom games. Thank you that they're all horizontal games. There are no vertical games on a machine with a horizontal monitor. So that's always good. I do like that on this. I like the fact that there are some games on this that we really haven't seen on other cabs before, including some of the a lot of these new ones like Magic Sword, Forgotten Worlds, Bionic Commando. Gigawing was on the Street Fighter Deluxe from Arcade One Up. But Gigawings 2 is on this thing. That's never been on a cab before. So there's a lot of stuff on this that we haven't seen before, which I think is really cool. Now, what I want to get into next is something that John started hinting about, like, I think this was either yesterday or the day before. And then he was in the chat on Mike B's show last night and continued to hint at it. So let me bring this up really quick. This is from Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. This is John D's account. And it starts out, one of the next 3 unannounced 80s titles will be from 3 new publishers. New to Iconic, that is. And it's not Atari. So what is he talking about there? Well, what he's talking about is the fact that he said that he's looking to have 6 cabs out from Iconic by the end of this year, which sounds ambitious until you realize that Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter Alpha are 2 of those 6. Okay, so he's counting those as 2 separate machines, even though they're just different skins of the same machine. He's counting those like they're 2 separate machines. All right. We also know that Double Dragon is coming, even though, again, technically not officially announced, but it's basically semi-unofficially announced. We all know it's coming. John has even said it's coming. It just hasn't been shown off and made official. We don't know anything really else about the cab other than, it's going to be themed after Double Dragon, other than they've kind of gone back and forth on, is it going to have 3 buttons? Is it going to have 6 buttons? Now it's back to 3 buttons again. So we do know a little bit about it, but that's half of the 6 right there. He's then said the other 3 are going to be based on 80s titles. And according to this tweet, I don't even know what you call them anymore now that it's X. One of the next 3 unannounced 80s titles will be from 3 new publishers. So, which sounds weird to me. I don't know if that means that the next 3 machines are all going to be from different publishers, or if one of the machines is going to have games from 3 different publishers on it. It actually sounds like one of the machines is actually going to be an amalgam of titles from 3 different publishers. So, which is interesting. So I'm really curious to see what that's going to mean. And we know, obviously, one of them, not Atari. So Atari, not in the mix on that. Whether or not that means that he doesn't have a license to Atari yet, or maybe maybe a different machine is going to be Atari later. We'll have to wait and see, but it's curious. And I can't wait to see more. I'm excited to see more from this. I'm starting to like more and more what I'm seeing with the Street Fighter. Not really sad that I didn't order it for right now, at least. Maybe that'll change. I have a feel. I get the feeling that these will maybe continue to be available after the fact, that these are not going to be like a one and done thing. I think you'll maybe be able to get them at a later time. This would be interesting. Exited Universal and Irem. There's some great bangers in some of those. I will always fight for Mr. Do from Universal, because I love that game. That goes back to my my ColecoVision games were always one of my favorite ones. I would love to see that game get into a cabinet. Doesn't have to be themed after it. I just love to see it get into a cabinet. Let's see. A lot of stuff still on the Wonderland. When are they going to come out with a table from when I watched cartoons? Where's my 100? Oh, Stock Jock. Nobody wants to go back that far. Bobby won ALU. I thought you was a math major. No, not a math major. I majored in computer science, which of course means I have to know math, but I never said I was good at it. Let's see. I would agree. Iconics Alpha is going to be a very cool cab. I do think that is true. Oh, Bobby won ALU. I've always trusted you as the authority on home arcade news. With errors like this, where do I get news I can trust? Cornercade? I wouldn't go that far. Oh my goodness. I love the starting lineup of the Capcom iconic arcade machines. I just wish they had a smaller size version. That's why I passed on the FU as well. So for people waiting for the XLs. Yeah, as much as everybody says, they want XL, they want bigger sizes in these machines, there is a contingency of people who like that 3/4 deluxe size. I'm one of them, if I'm being honest. That size works for me. It works in my space. I don't know how I feel about some of these bigger cabs, but if that's the way everything is going, I might have to move in that direction over the next couple of years or so. I think we're definitely going to see some more Tecmo slash Arc System Works games on there. I think you'll obviously get the Double Dragon trilogy 1, 2, and 3. You could get a game like Combat Tribes on there. Hopefully, there will be some other games that we haven't seen before. I'd be curious to see if they add games like Guilty Gear on there or something, even though those are not, I wouldn't consider those, those are certainly not 80s Technos classics. But I mean, they are part of Arc System Works now, so it would be interesting to see where they go with it for sure. Six Cab, nothing to sneeze at. Maybe we'll get a Bad Dudes and a Killer Konami cab. I would definitely love to see them do some Konami stuff for sure. This wouldn't surprise me. DMAX said they would consider Namco. You got to remember, John D saying these are publishers new to Iconic doesn't really mean anything, because technically the only thing from Iconic right now is Capcom with the Street Fighter one, and ultimately, like I said, Techno / Arc System Works with Double Dragon. So every other publisher out there is fair game in terms of what it could be. So we'll have to see. Hey, Galaga Guy 88. Good to see you, man. Glad you're here. A lot of news / info is obtained very early, and often company representatives change the information on the fly. Bill honestly tries to give you the latest available at the time, but it can / will change. Thank you for the disclaimer, Jason. I appreciate you, brother. And that's very true. Look, we all know. We all know stuff changes over time. I mean, I was one of the guys to put out that list back 2-3 years ago of, all these titles that Arcade 1UP was supposedly thinking about working on, of which none happened, because we all know what happened with Arcade 1UP. So plans change, things change, Oh, Mo, we're going to talk. I know what the titles are, maybe, possibly, and it'll make people happy is all I will say. We're going to talk because, brother, you know I can keep a secret. I can keep a secret. So I'll just say it that way. I would love to hear at least a little something, even if I'm not allowed to say. I would love to hear at least a little something in the back on the back end there. They're listening to the community with the latest update that hit my machine tonight. Oh, you got another update tonight? A short video about it tomorrow, because nice, very nice. Hopefully you got it, brother. Hopefully they have fixed, or they're going to fix that thing with the menu where it kind of stretches out a little bit. It's a stupid nitpicky thing, but we like to nitpick on nitpicky things. So hopefully, if that's not fixed already, hopefully that's something they can do. And I know they're working on, fixing like the Hyper Fight, some of the stuff with, was it Hyper Fighter or Turbo? I forget which one had like speed issues or whatever. So hopefully all of that stuff will continue to get worked on. All right, you know what? We're going to get to that now. Alan Arcade, 1978, good to see you. We are going to move on from Iconic, because I actually spent more time on that than I thought I was going to, if I'm being honest. And let's talk about this. So we finally got our announcement today of what was coming next from Evercade. And it is the Evercade Nexus. And I think that this took a lot of people by surprise. I don't think people were necessarily expecting it to be another handheld. There are pluses and minuses to this. There are things that I think are cool. And then there are things that make me wonder, was it necessarily worth the big hype? I like that it's got a bigger screen. Let me do this. bring this up. So this is the trailer that got released earlier today. So I like that it's got a bigger screen. I like that it's got the dual thumbsticks on it, because with some of the games that they've come out with recently, like Tomb Raider, coming out with Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, those thumbsticks definitely come in handy. This comes with that Banjo-Kazooie pack, so you get 2 games with it, which is pretty cool. Plays all your old games, has that button for tape mode, so you can, switch it vertically to play games that way. One of the other things that I think is pretty cool about this is it's got a mode, and I think this is where the Nexus comes in, this EverSync mode, so that you can share and play games against somebody else who also has a Nexus, but it's like local wireless. It's not like over the internet, from what I understand. And people have been talking about this. I'm going to pause the video for a second. So this Nexus 64 edition, this was the first of their special editions. They may come out with more. We'll have to wait and see. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But this thing sold out like almost immediately. Apparently there might be more of these coming. Maybe Castlevania Games is going to have some of them. I don't know. But this thing sold out almost immediately. So guys, I'd be curious, guys. Let me know in the chat. Did any of you, because I saw some people asking early, did any of you get your chance to get this? Elio did. So Elio, you ordered the 64 edition. So that's pretty cool. But in terms of everything else, I mean, it's basically just an updated version of the EXPR. For the most part, like I said, this EverSync I think is pretty cool. Can I blow that up a little bit? Not really. Exclusive to the Evercade Nexus, EverSync is a new wireless feature that allows you to connect 2 consoles for local multiplayer. No internet is required. Simply insert your cart and host your game to another Evercade Nexus to play multiplayer games on your handheld consoles. So you can play, kind of head to head against each other if you got a friend with a Nexus, and you only need 1 cart. So I think that's pretty cool, and I think that's kind of where what they were leaning into with the name Nexus being, a way to connect, a hub of some sort. We got a price on this. That's the $229. That's for the 64 edition. This is, I believe, $199 US. Yeah. So $199.99 US. Pre-orders. It says pre-orders start tomorrow. I don't know if this was just for the 64 edition. Either way, by tomorrow you'll be able to pre-order the regular edition of this, and it's coming out in October. Looking at some of the specs on this thing, I was trying to compare the specs on this to the EXPR, and again, it's tough because they don't go into like a lot of detail. So, but I think a lot of it is the same. Like for instance, this says quad core 150 hertz. The EXPR just lists it. I'm sorry, 1.5 gigahertz. Quad core 1.5 gigahertz. The EXPR is just listed as a 1.5 gigahertz processor. It doesn't say quad core. Both of them have 4 gig of RAM. I have a feeling they're probably the same processor. Maybe this one is a little bit more. I don't know. It's got Wi-Fi 6. It's got a 5,000 milliamp battery compared to the 3,000 milliamp battery on the EXPR. However, I don't think that necessarily means that this has significantly better battery life. It says 5+ hours. The EXPR says 4 to 5 hours. The bigger battery is going to be necessary because you've got a bigger screen at a slightly higher resolution, 5.89 inches compared to the 4.5 or 4.3 inch screen on the other one. 840 by 512. The other one is 800 by 480. 500 plus nit brightness. So this is probably a higher brightness than the other. So I think those things coming into play probably is what you need the bigger battery for. So again, battery life might be comparable. Hopefully there's a setting to that you can control the brightness of the screen. So if you want to turn down the brightness, maybe save some battery, you could do that. It's got that it's got this RGB logo on it that you can control. Again, hopefully you can shut that off, which should save some battery life. But beyond that, you know, it's going to be able to play all the same games. Going to be available at Fun Stock. I think I saw James Hayes everything say Castlemania Games was going to have this as well. So you got some options for this. I'm sure it'll show up on Amazon at some point as well. Yeah, see, bigger battery for the bigger, brighter screen. Yep, and potentially a better CPU. Again, I can't tell because, like I said, one of them says it's a quad core, 1.5 gigahertz. The other one just says it's a 1.5 gigahertz processor. So it could be a better processor, but they don't really go into a lot of detail on that. So I cannot say for sure that it is. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, I know. Shocker, a handheld, right? Sorry. Oracle looks like Oracle's not even excited for this a little bit. Yeah, I know a lot of people were hoping for a bigger cabinet. I don't see them going in that direction just yet. So here you go. Thank you, Jason Lillian. While Fun Stock allocation has sold out, tomorrow Castlemania Games will have their own batch for sale. So be quick. So guys, if you missed out on that, the 64, check out Castlemania Games tomorrow. All right, Video Game Vegas, and I'm putting that one up. Do you suppose Nexus cards will be able to detect when they are in this machine versus a regular? Again, with the better CPU, I don't know. But to answer the first part of your question, I am going to say I think so. Yes. And the reason for that is because we've already seen, they already announced that Mega Pocket Rare collection, which is going to have Banjo-Kazooie on it and just has a D-pad and the buttons. And they said that they kind of reworked the game. They've made the game able to work with just a D-pad. So either it's a setting in the game where you tell it, to, use the thumbsticks or not, or it's something that can auto detect so that you can play it properly, regardless of which machine you put it into. Because you're still going to be able to put the Banjo-Kazooie, obviously the Tomb Raider that's already out, in the older ones and still get to play them. Now, apparently, they're also going to be coming out with controllers that have thumbsticks on them. So that's going to be another way to play, like if you've got the VSR and all. Let's see. So I saw Leo said he ordered it. Sir Sega said he ordered it. Yeah, thank you for clarifying the 64 one up. So Eversync wireless multiplayer allows multiple Nexus handhelds to direct connect and play together in supported games with no Wi-Fi network required. So that I have to say that's actually kind of a cool feature. And then yes, the standard edition, that's what it is. So the pre-order today was just for the 64. Starting tomorrow, you can pre-order the standard edition. Thank you guys so much for clarifying that in the chat. Definitely appreciate you guys. It does not come with game. I don't believe it comes with games loaded on it. But it does come with the Banjo-Kazooie / Banjo-Tooie cart. So you are going to get a cart with it that has 2 games on it. The cost on the standard is $199, whereas the other one is $229. Brooklyn ordered the 60, so a bunch of people got it. We just spammed Fox. Yeah. So yeah, so it's like I said, the standard edition is going to be 200. The 64 edition was 230. So $30 more, and you get a bunch of stuff with it. From the looks of it, you get a case and a screen protector and a bunch of other stuff. So that's a pretty good deal, actually. If you're, like I said, if you're interested in this, it's a pretty good deal. Okay, fine. Evercade missed a huge opportunity. They should have made a rare Nexus, but with Conker's Bad Fur Day in a great mighty poo brown color. I am still holding out for somebody to bring back Conker's Bad Fur Day. Maybe Evercade will do it, and maybe I'll actually buy one of these just to be able to play that ridiculous game. But guys, there you go. That is the announcement. We now know what Evercade Nexus is. And like I said, some of you obviously interested. A bunch of you pre-ordered the 64 edition. Some of you, if you missed out on the 64 edition, check out Castlemania Games tomorrow. Otherwise, if you want to order the regular one, that pre-order goes live tomorrow. So as I wrap up, I do want to just talk about one other thing really quick. Oh, sorry for that. Hang on. Let me get the sound down on this. And just finish up with a little AtGame news, because AtGames has actually been on quite a roll, pun intended, lately with releases. We've had quite a few this month. And it looks like we are ending March, or really beginning April, considering this actually comes out on April 2nd, with another release. And it's going to be, not that, it is going to be another of their EM Plus tables. I know some people like these, some people not a big fan. I have found them to be hit or miss. Some I like, some I don't. This one I'm actually really kind of interested and curious to see, because I think it looks cool. So this is going to be Stars Phoenix, which is a casino theme. And what I'm seeing so far, this one, I think this one's got potential to be a lot of fun. I liked Supersonic. I thought the Supersonic one was really good. So I'm holding out hope that this one is fun too, but we will know more tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Thursday, when it goes live. Let me do this too. Let me bring this up as well. I don't think this is going to be a problem, since they released that video. So if you want, we can get a quick close-up look at the table here. And again, very, very open lower area. And then you've got these areas up here where it looks like you shoot the ball up into where the pop bumpers are. Then you've got kind of an outer lane here that you can shoot up into this little area with its own flippers to kind of keep it in play, hit some targets there. Like I said, I do like these. I think that these can be a lot of fun. I know people like, some of the more modern tables that have the modes and the shout outs. This is more just kind of hit the ball around and try to rack up the score. Yes, usually once you lose a ball, whatever, was lit up just goes away, and you kind of start over with the next ball. Some people like the challenge of that. Some people don't. So I get it with these, but I did want to just bring that up and let you know that AtGames is going to have another table coming out later on this week. The upper play field, after seeing this in action, is my only concern. Too much multi-ball confusion with the upper. I'll have to wait and see on how it plays. Is this coming out on the pinball and the micro pinball? Yes. So this will be available for it's available for HD, and when it's available for HD, that means the full size HD and the micro. It's always available for both. It'll be available for the HDP and it'll be available for the 4K. So regardless of what machine you own, you will be able to pick this one up if you want. The EMs are not doing it for me. Their AI really does cleavage well. As you may have noticed from my thumbnail tonight, that was not on accident that I used that image from their table. Yeah, they really need to kind of back it off with the AI art because it is it's getting to be a little bit much. Sometimes some of them look okay, some of them not so much. I liked the police one for sure. I thought that one was really good. Going to be hard to follow up that police table. I agree 100%. That is probably one of the best tables that they have put out in a while. Maybe second only to that Firefire Wildlands. That one was really good too. So this is a much simpler table, obviously, than the police one was. I know I'll go back to that police street patrol one more often and play that because that is a lot of fun. And I absolutely love the backup ball, multi-ball, whatever you want to call it, mechanism in that police one. I think that's a brilliant I think that's a brilliant mechanism on that table. The ability that you don't have to necessarily just set up for a multi-ball, that when you're in a mode, if you spell backup, it'll release another ball into the play field. I think that is so cool. It makes the game feel a lot more chaotic in some ways, like a lot more action going on in it. And it makes the game so much fun. So much fun. I hope that's something that they incorporate in other ways in future tables. But is it a love letter to pinball? I don't know if I would go that far. See, okay. So the AI artwork on the police table and the two before were hot garbage. I don't care if the gameplay is good. Plenty of good looking tables to play. Well, Elvira was good looking for a lot of reasons. But I mean, I get you. I hear what you're saying. I did not think that the AI artwork was that bad on the police one. I would agree with you on some of the other tables. Like I think that tropical one was, I forget if it was the EM or if it was I think it was the deluxe where it had the two people supposedly play like they were playing volleyball and they were basically just hitting a ball up in the air, and one of them, the hand was like really funky looking or whatever. Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. And and sometimes like with the AI artwork, it feels like it's not cohesive. It's like it's all over the place. That clown one, perfect example. You had this cutesy clown on the playfield, and then you had Pennywise on the freaking back glass. It's like, all right, are we going scary clown or are we going cutesy clown? Make up your freaking mind. That was awful. So yeah, I would agree. Sometimes it just goes way off the rails. That one I didn't think was so bad. And so far, what I'm seeing of this Stars Phoenix one, not so bad either. But hopefully I'll get a chance to play it by this weekend and give you guys my thoughts on that particular table as well. But guys, I think that's going to cover everything. I think that pretty much hits everything I wanted to talk about tonight. The AI artwork on Police, Tropical, and Nautilus remind me of artwork on rip-off phone games from China and cheap coloring books you find at doctor's office. Oh man. But you know what? I hear you, video game Vegas, and I know your thoughts on AtGames in general, for sure. Yeah, I mean, seriously, it was bad. It wasn't that bad to play. I mean, it was okay, but the art was oof. So yeah, I think so. I think the artwork looks decent on it. What about the Super Mario Galaxy movie? I haven't seen it yet, so don't say anything. It starts tomorrow, right? I think it starts tomorrow. Although they've probably had, advanced screenings tonight. But God, I want to go see it. I don't know when I'm going to have the time to go see it. But I definitely want to go see it. That Mario Galaxy movie looks like a lot of fun. Somebody was saying earlier that the after credits scene got spoiled online, so I'm trying to avoid any of that stuff that I can. I just want to go see it. Supposedly Star Fox has a cameo in it, which should be interesting. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun for sure. That movie looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So no spoilers. Just, bro, send me a text. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You just got to let me know. That's all I want to know. I don't want no spoilers. Just let me know if you enjoy it. Guys, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up here. Like I said, I hit every topic that I wanted to hit, covered everything I wanted to cover. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you did, please, before you leave, give me a like, give me a thumbs up. If you're watching this on a replay, leave some comments below. Let me know what you think on Wonderland. Let me know what you think on Evercade, Iconic, AtGames, all this kind of stuff. Curious to hear your thoughts as always. Guys, if you are not subscribed to this channel yet, what are you waiting for? I am 15, 16 away from hitting 4,000. So come on, guys. Let's do it. Let's get to 4,000. Hopefully I can plan some fun stuff after 4K. That's my goal. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you are, share it around. Tell your friends about me. Get them to subscribe. And guys, I will leave it at there, and I will see you guys next week. In the meantime, take care and happy gaming.